Howdy! Thanks for joining us on this week's episode of Gateway to the Smokies. This podcast is about America's most visited national park, the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and the surrounding towns. This area is filled with ancient natural beauty, a deep storied history, and rich mountain cultures that we explore with weekly episodes. I'm Joseph Franklin McElroy, man of the world, but also with deep roots in these mountains. My family has lived in the Great Smokies for over 200 years. My business is in travel, but my heart is in culture. Today's podcast, we're talking about hiking and experiences in the Smokies. But first, let's talk about the sponsors, which happen to be me. Imagine a place evocative of motorsports of the past, and modern and vibrant with a chic Appalachian feel. A place for adventure and for relaxation. Imagine a place where you can fish in a mountain heritage trout stream, grill the catch on a fire and eat, accompanied by fine wines or craft beers. Imagine a place with old-time music and world cultural sounds. Imagine a place where we're mountain heritage food and with an underground speakeasy. There is no other place like the Meadowlark Motel in Maggie Valley. Your Smoky Mountain adventure starts with where you stay. SmokiesAdventure.com. Smokies plural, adventure singular. Information and listings about the Smokies. It's got information about hiking and wedding venues and books, and it's got resources like trail maps and guides and histories of the Smokies. The emphasis of Smokies Adventure is on outdoor recreation, outdoor life events like weddings and adventures, along with providing information on lodging, family entertainment, events, convention, honeymoons, and more. The goal of the site is to become the leading information portal of the Smoky Mountains. I have some upcoming events to tell you about. We haven't seen winter's final hurrah, but the first signs of springs are starting to emerge in Haywood County. Witness the changing of the stream seasons firsthand by joining a guided hike with the Haywood County Recreation. The guided hikes offer a chance to connect with fellow hikers and explore new trails with experienced local guides. It's only $10 per hike. And you can call 828-452-6789 to find out more information. There's four hikes already lined up for March. There's March 9th, it's a 5.5-mile hike on the Little East Fork Trail in Shining Rock. March 16th is a 7.5-mile hike in the Boogerman Trail in the Cataloochee Valley of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. There's a March 19th, a 9.4-mile hike on the Little Cataloochee Trail in the lesser traveled area of the Cataloochees. And on March 30th, there's a 5.6-mile moderate hike on the Mountains to Sea Trail to Scotts Creek Overlook along the Blue Ridge Parkway. This is a part of the installment. It's an installment in the Mountains to Sea Trail hiking series, hiking the MST through Haywood County, led by Kathy Advodi and Steve. I don't know his I just looked at that name. It's Shisapansky. So I'm hoping I did justice to it. Upcoming at the Meadowlark. In today's world, you might forget that for all of history, humankind has lived or journeyed into environments that require fundamental survival skills in order to flourish. Wilderness survival, also known as bushcraft, is the ability to utilize natural and limited materials in traditional ways to stay alive and escape danger. We might not think we need these skills if we avoid nature, but there's still instances where we might need to call upon them, including natural disasters, getting lost in the woods, extreme shifts in weather, accidents causing some form of incapacitation, and many other unforeseen circumstances. Therefore, it is prudent and wise for every human to have at least a rudimentary capability in the basic skills of survival. These include the ability to build a fire, build a shelter, tie knots, navigate without a GPS, apply first aid, evaluate and choose the right gears and supplies, and master the essentials of hiking and camping. The Meadowlark Smoky Mountain Heritage Center is proud to announce the addition of acclaimed author, outdoor survival expert, record-setting hiker, elite wilderness search and rescue team member, Nancy East, to our roster of expert artists for 2022. Remember, she was on the program here a couple of weeks ago. And so we're having our first Wilderness Survival Skills Weekend with Nancy East on March 19th at 4 p.m. Through March 20th to all day, 11 p.m. It's $275. Nancy will launch with a presentation on Friday night describing her adventures as a search and rescue member. And she's had some really exciting stories and rescues to talk about. And then on Saturday, March 19th, Nancy will devote the entire day to a variety of those survival skills topics to ensure your safety, comfort, and enjoyment as you create memorable experiences hiking in the Great Smokies. Space is limited to 10 students to guarantee you get individual attention, and Nancy provides all the materials needed for the event. After the event, you will be able to have free barbecue and listen to wonderful music like Mike Ogletree, who was a former drummer of Simple Minds, on Saturday night. So it makes for an enjoyable weekend. You can go to our website, meadowlarkmotel.com, to purchase your tickets, or just call 828-926-1717 to reserve. And don't forget, I'm not going to go into the whole details, but there's a fishing camp coming up on April 15th and 16th at the Meadowlark Motel. And it's going to be a two-day event with lots of wonderful fishing instruction, hands-on, going actually out to the streams and fishing. There'll be trout tails and entertainment and food and things like that. So again, you can call 828-926-1717 to find out more and make reservations. Now, a lot of you know I like to do a little poem sometimes. Since we're talking about hiking a lot today, I found one by Lawrence Hall, and it's called New Hiking Shoes for the Trail Ahead. While I was looking for something else, I found a pair of hiking shoes still in their box from a year ago, in anticipation of a summer vacation that never was. And there was no holiday again that year. It was all coronavirus and foreign wars. I had forgotten those shoes, but here they are, all ready for some sunlit summer road. While I was looking for something else, I found a pair of hiking boots and a bit of hope. So today we're having a great guest. His name is Johnny Osborne. He's a Tennessee native, and he's an acclaimed long-distance hiker, adventurer, rock climber, and mountain biker. Also renowned for his social media skills. With well over 1 million followers on various forms of social media platforms, Johnny is a master of creating memorable online hiking experiences in the Great Smoky Mountains, for which he has a passion. Johnny also uses his social media skills to help brands like Blackberry Farm and Blackberry Mountain Resort. Hello, Johnny. How you doing?
Hey, Joseph. I'm doing well. How are you?
Fine, fine. So we're talking about hiking shoes. Do you do boots or sneakers?
I do both.
Yeah.
Sometimes I trail run.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. So you were born and raised in East Tennessee, right?
Yeah, I was born and raised in East Tennessee my entire life. Grew up here in Blount County on a small country farm. Playing outside was just normal and natural for me. So just where I am.
Yeah, I grew up in Western North Carolina, and grandfather had a small farm. We lived up on top of a mountain, and you just living outside is basically what you do.
Absolutely, that's right. That's right.
So you still live in Alcoa, Tennessee, right?
I do. I still live in Alcoa. I've been in Alcoa for about 15 years, but I've always been in Blount County, which still butts up to North Carolina, actually.
Yeah. Well, what keeps you in the Smokies?
The Smokies are really, really close to me. I mean, it's a 20-minute drive from my home and from my work, from my office. It's just a few steps away. I can walk out of my office and be in the national park in minutes, which is really nice. So it's nice to, just be able to get away and go for a quick hike after work, or a picnic, or an overnight trip. And I think the things that keep me going to the Smokies is just nice to go and unplug from society. Being in technology, um, it's nice to go and unplug and unwind from the stress of the day.
Hmm. Well, how did
Yeah,
you become so passionate about the great outdoors? I mean, besides the relaxation, I mean, there seems to be more of a also a deep passion for it.
yeah. Gosh, my passion came from to the Smokies and stuff is from my parents.
Hmm.
When my sister and I were little, when we were younger, our parents took us to the Smokies quite often. We'd go up for picnics or to hike. And some of my most fondest memories are just of us playing in the streams. We did more stream playing than I think we did hiking. But just something my parents always did with us, going to the Smokies and just having family fun, bonding time.
Hmm. And you've become a real serious hiker. How did you become so serious about hiking?
Oh gosh. um, I hiked early on in life, and as I got into school and college and all that, I stopped hiking as much and started running. I was a runner, and my sister kept on and on and on about come hike with me, come hike with me, and I'm like, no, I've got this run to do. I've got 10 miles, 15 miles, 20 miles, or whatever I want to run. And no, I'm not going to go. I'll just wait. And she was very persistent about it, and so she kept on and on and on. Finally, I gave in and went, but I'm really truly glad that she did because that her inviting me to come hike with her in the Smokies was, it just had ignited a fresh spark. Um, and I fell in love with hiking in the Smokies all over again. It was just I'd
Mhm.
forgotten what it was like after all those times being away from it. So, a fun fact about my sister and I, as far as we know, um, we are the only two siblings that have hiked all the trails in the Smokies and are 900 milers.
Wow, fabulous.
Yeah.
How often do you hike now?
I try to hike at least, oh my gosh, at least, I try to hike at least 3 weekends
Mhm.
and some during the week. I
Oh,
don't know
that's
how
fabulous.
much. My mileage just varies.
And you got to feed that social media profile too.
Yeah, that's right.
The internet is a gaping maw that needs content.
Yeah, I gotta keep creating content.
So, have you had any exciting adventures while hiking, like meeting a bear or a boar or something like that?
Yeah, I've met both. I was at what shelter was that? It was oh gosh, I don't remember the name of the shelter, but I was getting water. I'd filled up my water bladder for my pack, and I had just rinsed out my coffee cup and had it laying there by the water source. And I'm leaning down there, just filling up my water bladder, and this bear just walked up right behind me, and probably 10 feet from me. I didn't see it, didn't hear it. Um, but I left my stuff there, backed away slowly, facing the bear the entire time. And it was just a curious bear. It walked up to my water bladder and my coffee cup and sniffed around a little bit. And he took his paw and he just, to turn my water bladder over to smell it. And he ended up shredding the water bladder. And I had no bladder for the next couple of days. But we shooed the bear away. He left. Um, and then I gathered my things and packed up rest of my gear from the shelter, and we left. So it's very uneventful, but still exciting.
It's still nice. Yeah, it's exciting, right? It's like,
Yeah.
I grew up living in the mountains. We were not too far from the Appalachians,
Hmm.
and I would sleep at night. I had an outdoor deck, and I had a collie slept with me. And I woke up one night in the middle of the night, and I left my window open. My dog was screaming his bloody head off, and I looked up, and there was a bear sticking his head in the window. Just a curious bear,
Yeah,
right?
they're just curious. They're harmless, but they're curious.
Well, listen, we got to take a break, but I'm gonna come back and talk about some of the principles you employ while hiking, and then maybe we'll get into your social media life.
Sounds great.
Mhm.
Are you a business owner? Do you want to be a business owner? Do you work with business owners? Hi, I'm Stephen Fry, your small and medium-sized business or SMB guy, and I'm the host of the new show, Always Friday. While I love to have fun on my show, we take those Friday feelings of freedom and clarity to discuss popular topics on the minds of SMBs today. Please join me and my various special guests on Friday at 11 a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a conscious co-creator? Are you on a quest to raise your vibration and your consciousness? I'm Sam Leibowitz, your conscious consultant. And on my show, The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, we will touch upon all these topics and more. Listen live at our new time on Thursdays at 12 noon Eastern Time. That's The Conscious Consultant Hour, Awakening Humanity, Thursdays, 12 noon on talkradio.nyc.
Are you on edge? Hey, we live in challenging, edgy times, so let's lean in. I'm Sandra Bargman, the host of The Edge of Every Day, which airs each Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc. Tune in live with me and my friends and colleagues as we share stories and perspectives about pushing boundaries and exploring our rough edges. That's The Edge of Every Day on Mondays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC. Uplift, educate, empower.
Howdy, this is Joseph Franklin McElroy back with the Gateway to the Smokies podcast and my guest, Johnny Osborne. So, Johnny, I looked at your YouTube channel as well as your TikTok channel, but most of your YouTube channel is the one that's got like 1.5 million or 1.15 million, I forget, followers. It's a pretty impressive following. I looked at some of your videos, and you often talk about the leave no trace principles of hiking in the wilderness. Can you tell my audience about that?
Absolutely. And I'll even take it a step further than leave no trace, which is responsible stewardship. And those values are deeply rooted in that together we can foster ethics to make all of our public lands cleaner and a better place for everyone. And we'll do that through education, education through action, whether it's digitally, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or just physically going out and volunteering. You want to be an advocate. You want to raise awareness of the issues of our public land. You want to raise awareness of the issues our public lands face, and use our reach to become a part of the solution. Donate, give with a purpose, either financially or physically, and know your impact. Be prepared and know what to expect. And the last of those ethics, take action. Which is to volunteer in the park. There's so many volunteer programs that the park offers that you can be a part of to help to give back to the park. And all of that's all tied together to recreating responsibly.
Cool. And there's some fundamental principles of leave no trace, right?
There sure are. There are 7 principles to leave no trace. I can share those if you like, but
I think it's good. I mean, I think it's good to educate if you can do it quickly. You know, that I think that it's
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So plan ahead and prepare. It's always one of my favorites. You always want to, prepare for your hike before you go your backpacking trip. You want to 2 is travel and camp on durable surfaces. 3, dispose of waste properly, and that's really a huge issue in the Smokies. 4, leave what you find. Number 5, minimize campfire impacts. 6, respect the wildlife. And 7 is to be considerate of others.
which we have a problem with sometimes too, right?
We definitely do. We definitely do.
I think they had to close down a popular park because people were not being considerate, right? Recently.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, it was a real shame that, they were just abusing it so badly that it was getting ruined and we had to close it down. So,
Yeah, that was what, Max Patch, I think, right?
yeah, Max Patch is a popular one, not too far from
Yep.
Maggie. So, I think they closed it down for the whole year, right? So,
They closed it down at sunset and it's open back up at sunrise.
is it
No more
now?
overnight
Oh, they
camping
wouldn't let
there.
camping. That was it. People would camp
Yeah.
and they were just abusing it badly, camping, ruining it, and leaving
It
trash.
ended up being a big college party scene area,
Yeah.
and it was getting trashed every weekend. Several friends of mine would go up there and weekend after weekend after weekend and just carry out loads and loads and loads of trash.
Yeah.
And so something had to be done.
It has to be a culture of it. When I went to Burning Man, believe it or not, right?
Mhm.
And they do that. They had, like, when I went there, I don't know how many people we were now, but I did it in like 2002 when I was young enough to walk around half naked. Maybe a little bit more than half naked. That's for another story. But they would have 30,000 people out in the desert, bringing in camping and everything else. But when they left it pristine, and they actually went, inch by inch over that whole property, getting rid of anything that might have been left behind. So
Yeah,
it's a culture of it.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's important to be advocates for, taking care of our resources. So I think I appreciate you doing that so consistently in your work. So yeah.
And speaking of that, I want to plug the Save Our Smokies real quick. They are doing a huge event on April the 23rd. It's Earth Day weekend that weekend. They are the plan is to clean the entire Smoky Mountains National Park.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So the registration for this event starts today, March the 1st. And you can register for this at saveoursmokies.org. And at the end of the day that day, they're going to provide food and drinks and live music for all the volunteers. And the goal that day is to remove 5,000 pounds of litter from the park and remove as much graffiti as possible. So it's going to be a super fun day. I'm definitely going. And I would encourage anybody else that loves the Smokies, come on out.
Yeah. Oh, well, you said that's April 23rd, right?
April 23rd.
I'll try, that's around that fishing event, I think. So maybe I'll try to fish a little bit and then come down and go to that too. So
awesome. I'd love to meet you.
Oh yeah. That'd be great. So obviously you are very passionate about the hiking community. So what are the positive impacts for you, that you find the hiking community, like personally, socially, physically, mentally? What is being part of that community? What are the positive impacts?
Gosh. I guess the positive impacts that I'm seeing or that I like to be a part of is just, getting back and being that voice of information, giving back in a sense that I can provide some knowledge that may be beneficial to someone that hasn't been out and hasn't hiked as much.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can talk for hours and hours about hiking to new people,
Well, I've started doing more hiking, and even in the get-go, I'm starting to notice that, legs are working a little bit better from just, doing, I want to do a lot more of it. I've only been a neophyte of it, but, and seems to be it's also a community. Hikers know each other and communicate, right? And there's clubs and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there are. And one of the things, see here, one of the things that I'm really super proud of is this Facebook group that I created about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, 5 years ago, maybe, hiking the Smokies. It's just a real fun group of people, very knowledgeable of what's going on, trail conditions, things like that.
I've been a member and I didn't know that was you. So
Yeah. So I mean, I think there's like 85,000 members now.
you could be quite big. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So, as someone born and raised in the Smoky Mountains myself, I'm always interested in how people acquire their skills, especially in the computer things. How did you learn about your social media skills? Did you just do it yourself? Did you go to college? What did you do?
It's I'm still learning social media skills.
Well, they change it every day. You're never going to stop. Let me tell you, I've been on this bandwagon for a long time.
That's right. That's right. The algorithms change so frequent. It's like, so what's in now? Is it Instagram Reels? Is it photos? Is it
TikTok?
Shorts? I mean, what's the thing? What's the new craze now?
Yeah. So one of the things I tell people is that teaching yourself is the best way with especially with computers in general, because it's really it's an amalgam of human mind and thought, and getting in there and understanding that at that level is much better for you than trying to learn rules.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I want to do this year, and it's something that's been on my mind for quite a while, is I want to create more educational YouTube content. And if anything, just for the betterment of the hiking community. And it's really so hard to compete with the larger YouTube channels, and it's hard to be seen sometimes as a small YouTuber.
Right. Yeah, well, you got to put that in perspective. Most of us think a small YouTuber is, a few hundred or a few thousand. They think of themselves as a small YouTuber. You're a big YouTuber in most people's book. Once you hit that million mark, you're of interest anyway. So, well, cool. I wanted to talk about some of the accomplishments, and so people know, sort of the fun things that you can do. And so you are a South Beyond 6,000 finisher. What's that?
It's a Southern Sixer. Yeah, I love that challenge. That was one of my most favorite challenges. And how I kind of got to doing the South Beyond 6,000 was, I was wrapping up my Smoky's 900 miler map, and I was thinking about what I wanted to do next. And the idea of the South Beyond 6,000 came to me after reading an article online about this challenge, and I was reading about how hard it was. And I thought, well, that's kind of up my alley. I like to do hard challenges. But I had one little issue though that kind of worried me a little bit. And I know how to use a map, and I know how to use a compass and all that good stuff, but I wasn't okay with just mediocre, right? I wanted to know more. I wanted to know, because I know a lot of those 6,000 foot peaks are off trail hikes, and so I really wanted to brush up on my knowledge of reading a map and compass. And so I reached out to my friend Lane DeCoste, who's a Haywood County Search and Rescue team member, and he was holding he was about to hold an advanced off-trail navigation class. So I reached out to him and signed up for that. It was a wonderful 2-day overnight trip at Max Patch. And one of the biggest and most helpful takeaways from this class from him was that it gave me the confidence that I needed to go out and do these off-trail hikes and climb these mountains, because there aren't trails to these summits.
So how many mountains did you have to climb to achieve this finish? There was they're all 6,000 or more in height, right?
Yeah, they are. There's 40. Well, there's more than 40, but there's 40 that's designated by the Carolina Mountain Club for this challenge. So there's 46,000 foot summits.
So it's 40 hikes you got to go climb a mountain to finish. Yeah. Well, how long did it take you?
I think I did them in about a year, maybe less than a year.
Cool. Well, that's like almost one every week, every week. Yeah.
Just about. Yeah.
Fabulous. Cool.
And a few of those I did, like the Black Mountain Crest Trail. I think there's 5 peaks on that trail. So I did those 5 that weekend, that day. I did 2 more the day before, the day after. I can't remember which. So I knocked a few out each weekend.
Cool. Well, we got to take another break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about some of these other fun accomplishments, and then get into a little bit more about your social media and stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm Joseph Franklin McElroy, host of the new podcast, Gateway to the Smokies. It airs on talkradio.nyc every Tuesday night from 6 p.m. to 7. Every episode is dedicated to memorable experiences in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park and surrounding areas. This show features experts and locals who expound upon the richness of culture, history, and adventure that awaits you in the Smokies. Tune in every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 on talkradio.nyc.
Are you passionate about the conversation around racism? Hi, I'm Reverend Dr. TLC, host of the Dismantle Racism Show, which airs every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern on talkradio.nyc. Join me and my amazing guests as we discuss ways to uncover, dismantle, and eradicate racism. That's Thursdays at 11 o'clock a.m. on talkradio.nyc.
Are you a small business trying to navigate the COVID-19 related employment laws? Hello, I'm Eric Sauver, employment law business law attorney and host of the new radio show, Employment Law Today. On my show, we'll have guests to discuss the common employment law challenges business owners are facing during these trying times. Tune in on Tuesday evenings from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time on talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc, now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Howdy, this is Joseph Franklin McElroy, back with the Gateway to the Smokies podcast, and my guest, Johnny Osborne. So, Johnny, you've done some amazing different hikes. You mentioned the Black Mountain Crest Trail. We've had some peaks on it. What was that event?
Oh my gosh, that was so fun. I love that trail. I love that hike. I started out, first off, it's called the March of Death. Black Mountain Crest Trail is the March of Death. It's one of those crazy weekends. It was a solo hike for me. I didn't really know what to expect. And I've heard the trail was super brutal, and it kind of was. So I packed my backpack for an overnight trip, just in case I ran into any issues or couldn't finish it as a day hike, but I didn't. I finished it as a day hike, but started at Bowling Creek and I hiked it all the way through to Mount Mitchell. I think like I said, I think earlier, I think it's 5 or 6,000 foot summits.
Yeah.
There's some ropes on the trail. You have to kind of use to pull yourself up. But
Gosh.
it was amazing though. I love the views up there, just unlike anywhere else. It was so beautiful.
Wow.
And I'm hoping to go back again maybe the next month.
Well, yeah, that sounds like if there's ropes you have to pull up, I'm probably not
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah, exactly. It's so crazy.
And then you did the Great Smoky Mountains National Park 900 mile, which is doing all the trails in the Smoky Mountain National Park, right? 900
Yes.
miles of trails.
Yeah.
And did you do a good time?
I did it in about a little over a year,
Uh-huh.
and I wasn't in any hurry to do it or anything, but it's kind of fun. And I'm doing a second one, sort of. I'm not really said it's official, but I'm about halfway through with the second one. But
Wow.
yeah, it's just one of those things. I'm just going out on a weekend or whatever, and I may go out and do a backpacking trip or just a short day hike and highlight that trail when I'm done.
Cool.
One
Now,
cool thing about that too is I just checked the stats a couple weeks ago. There's 733 members of the 900 Miler Club.
Wow.
That's super cool. It's a small crowd.
Now you've also done the Foothills Trail through hike. What is that?
Yeah, the Foothills Trail goes from Table Rock to Coney State Park. I took off a few days from work to solo hike through hiking this trail. Such a bougie trail. I loved it. It was well maintained through and through. Gosh, it was such a delight to hike, and I would totally hike that trail anytime again. And a fun story about that hike. My first day on the hike, I had planned my campsite long before I went, but on the trail I was hiking along, and this storm came up, this huge storm, and I'm like, well, I'm not where I want to be for camp, so I ducked into this little spot and hung my tarp and my hammock and cooked dinner and hung my food bag and changed clothes, went to bed, got up next morning, packed up, and started hiking. And come to find out, I was 0.2 miles from where I wanted to be in the first place. I didn't even know. Yeah, but that's my luck. That's
your luck, right? Oh, yeah. Everyone's gonna have that story, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was sleeping on the one side of the mountain where we're supposed to be was just on the other.
No. Oh my God.
Oh yeah. So if you, I mean, you've done a lot in the Smokies. I assume you've done the Appalachian Trail, right?
I have not.
You have not. Okay.
I have not.
Yeah, that's one on your bucket list, right?
Gosh,
Nah.
maybe not. I mean, I really don't have a desire to hike the AT, but I've hiked so many sections of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you've hiked maybe
one day.
You've hiked in other places across the United States, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I've hiked. Oh my gosh, I've hiked in so many states and so many countries.
What's one highlight of those that you can recommend?
Of the
other hikes besides the Smokies, yeah.
I went to the Rockies last year. It's my first time to the Rockies, and that was really a neat experience out there because, well, I went in the fall, so seeing those aspen trees, it was such a delight. Those things are so beautiful, and those alpine lakes, for one, they're beautiful, but two, it's no joke getting to them because they're over 10,000 feet, right? So you're climbing a lot to get to them. So, but it was worth it. Every bit of it was worth it. And one of my last hikes in Colorado was to Quandary Peak, which is a 14,271 foot summit. And I was just, I mean, when I got to the summit, I was just really overjoyed with happiness. I mean, I literally cried. In fact, if you watch my YouTube video of this, I'm bawling at the top. In fact, I edited a lot of it out because I'm like, can't believe it. It's just so humbling to be there. It was just so cool.
Well, talking about your YouTube, you on social media, you call yourself an encourager, not an influencer. Why do you differentiate?
That's a really good question. To me, and in my opinion, to influence is to persuade someone into something, and most influencers, in my opinion, are selling something or pushing something on you. As an encourager, it's kind of like coaching. I've hiked thousands of miles, and in my mind, I believe that anyone can hike any single trail that I've hiked. I mean, there's absolutely no reason they can't. All it is one step at a time, and it's at your own pace. And that's the key word, at your own pace. And so, to me, it's about supporting them or to be motivated. Whereas to influence is to control or manipulate something or someone. So I try to be like a coach or be the good advice, or, I'm just today, commenting on a friend of mine's post that's working on a 900-mile map. And I'm like, hey, so proud of you. Keep going. And I think that says a lot.
Do you feel like you're making an impact in the community? Have you seen any stories of how you've impacted it by that sort of differentiation?
From time to time, I might see someone that I've, encouraged along the way reach that goal. I mean, it's really hard to say if, how it, what's in their mind or what they're doing, what they're going through. But, I just think it's just gratifying to coach others and give them encouragement, keep motivating them to keep going. going after something that maybe they had doubts about, that first hike or that first overnight trip in the Smokies or wherever it may be. I do get some feedback, but not a whole lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you have, a large following, and on Twitter you have some, Facebook and YouTube, definitely you've got it. Is there, these platforms, there's a lot of businesses use them, and like you said, influencers trying to sell something. But for people that don't necessarily want to sell anything, but to encourage people to build communities, do you have any particular tips or secrets you'd like to share with them to help build their communities?
Gosh, I'm always hunting for somewhere to add value on the social media platforms, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. But I think to grow these platforms, to me, what's worked for me is just being consistent with content. Create fresh, new, and here's the keyword in my mind, is relatable content. If I can create content that's relatable to the person watching it or searching for it, then they're most likely going to follow or subscribe or whatever. So I just try to create content daily that's relatable.
Mm-hmm. Have you found any formats of the content that makes it more viral or more watchable or get more views than other types of formats?
Right now, Instagram Reels is absolutely taken off. I mean, right now Instagram Reels, there aren't any advertisements on Instagram Reels, so it's kind of like an open market. Instagram's kind of opened up their platform to go, hey, we need content creators to come on and create reels, and if you'll create reels for us, we'll promote your videos, and you get tons of likes and tons of views. It's crazy how that works. Same with YouTube Shorts, and I think there's another platform that I forget what they're called. I don't remember them all, but you just have to go with what's trending right now. It's not going to be like open forever. Instagram Reels isn't, but right now it's wide open for the taking.
I might check that out. Or my wife, well, she loves Instagram. So you have something called Basecamp Chat. What is that?
Okay. Yeah, Basecamp Chat. I was a guest on the Hike podcast with Lori Prima, and also on the podcast Jester Section Hikes hosted by Julie Gayhart. And we had so much fun chatting about our adventures. And along with Benny Braden, we started Basecamp Chat 2 years ago with a 4-episode season 1. And we talked about anything from our fears while out on the trail to, advice that we would give to a listener that it may be their first time hiking or their first time backpacking. And Basecamp Chat was the feedback was phenomenal. So we brought it back for a season 2. We have already recorded episode 1 and 2. Episode 1 is out already. Episode 2 will be out, I think, this week or next. But our objective here was just to create a fun, educational atmosphere about hiking or the outdoors for the listeners, just to make the content relatable. And one cool thing, though, our 4th and last show of season 2 will be live. So we'll be fielding questions and comments from our listeners.
Oh, wow. That's good.
Yeah.
Live interaction is always good. Yeah.
Sometimes it could also.
Yeah, well, it can go south. You have to get the right.
That's true. Sometimes you may not want the answer to that question.
Yeah. Well, do you think social media is a good way, one, to learn about the Great Smoky Mountains, and two, to promote it?
I think if you're wanting to, go out and hike or spend time in the Smokies, it's good to do some homework. Of course, the number one principle of Leave No Trace is plan and prepare. So, go online and study the trail. And one cool thing about the Hiking the Smokies Facebook group is, if you're wanting to hike a trail in the Smokies, go and do a search in that group for that trail and see what feedback you may get back. You're going to see that out of 85,000 members, somebody's hiked the trail you're looking for recently. And you're
Yeah.
going to get the most current, up-to-date trail conditions that you wouldn't get from, any other website. It's kind of almost, it's not live, but it's, days or weeks old
Yeah.
information. And it's always helpful.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we got to take another break. And then we come back, we'll finish up with some of the other things that you're doing and some shout outs.
Okay.
Join us every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern for the Mind Behind Leadership, where we focus on what leadership really means to us and to others. We have practical discussions with the CEOs of some of the world's largest companies, owners of small businesses, and experts in psychology and behavior to get that inside track, what to do, what to avoid, and what really happens. Join me, Graham Dobbin, at the new time, 4 p.m. every Tuesday for the Mind Behind Leadership, here live on talkradio.nyc.
Hey everybody, it's Tommy D, the Nonprofit Sector Connector, coming at you from my attic. Each week here on talkradio.nyc, I host a program, Philanthropy in Focus. Nonprofits impact us each and every day, and it's my focus to help them amplify their message and tell their story. Listen each week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time until 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on talkradio.nyc.
Calling all pet lovers.
Pet Avengers, assemble!
On the Professionals and Animal Lovers show, we believe the bond between animal lovers is incredibly strong. It mirrors that bond between pets and their owners. Through this program, we come together to learn, educate, and advocate.
Join us live every Wednesday at 2 p.m. at talkradio.nyc.
You're listening to Talk Radio NYC at www.talkradio.nyc. Now broadcasting 24 hours a day.
Howdy, this is Joseph Franklin McElroy back with the Gateway to the Smokies podcast and my guest, Johnny Osborne. So Johnny, you're involved with a place called Blackberry Farm and Mountain Resort in East Tennessee. Now it's a beautiful place. It's also become a fairly large enterprise. Didn't they just buy Wyndham Resorts? I heard the mill that they might have, right? The resort, Wyndham's had its own separate resort business, and my company actually used to do some content for them, and I thought it wasn't a grapevine that they had, so I was pretty surprised. But can you tell us about the Blackberry Farm and Mountain Resort?
Sure, absolutely. As far as that Wyndham, I don't know if they have or not. But we have Blackberry Farm, Blackberry Mountain, and over in the Cashers we have High Hampton Inn. It's all a family-owned luxury resort hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Blackberry Farm, Blackberry Mountains, right at the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, in Wallen, Tennessee. And I've been with the company for 7 years. I'm an information technology manager at Blackberry Mountain. And like I said earlier, the property butts up against the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. So a few steps away, I'm in the park. Super, super cool.
And you have like a brewery there and all.
We do, yeah. We have brewery. We're getting ready to open up a food restaurant there at the brewery. So it's happening, I think, in April. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I read recently that where you said your goal is to create memorable experiences in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, while also promoting and perpetuating the park's legacy. Is that a fair depiction of your quote?
It is. Yeah, I feel like that we cherish our memories, and I want to encourage others to go out and create those memorable experiences while in the Smokies, really anywhere, but for me here in the Smokies. But to go a step further, but also preserving the park's history by creating the generational sustainability. And this goes back to responsible stewardship, recreating responsibly. And the objectives are just to go to the park go visit the park and create those lifelong memories with friends and family.
Mhm.
But leave the park better than you found it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You know, the one of the intentions of the Meadowlark and why we built a heritage center and everything else is to create memorable experiences.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one is, you know, it's my heritage, and I want to have people have those flashbulb memories of something wonderful happening for them. But two, from a marketing standpoint, if you market where you're creating memorable experiences, you actually create better brand loyalty and more better revisited intention. So it's both practical and good for people, for companies to try to create those memorable experiences. And so that is our ethics. So I really appreciate what you're doing there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you're actually a wide variety in other outdoor things besides hiking, right? So what are some other good adventurous locations to do things besides hiking that you enjoy in the Smoky Mountains?
I love to mountain bike, road cycle. Of course, I said running earlier. I love to run. I'm also a kayaker. Anything outside.
Well, what's your favorite mountain biking spot the most, Smoky?
Yeah, we have a spot here in Knoxville called IAMS. It's at the it's part of the Legacy Parks Foundation, part there in South Knoxville.
Mm-hmm.
And I love going there to ride. One of my other favorite places in Knoxville is Baker's Creek, and it's two types of riding. So IAMS is more like cross country riding, whereas like Baker's Creek is downhill riding with big, massive jumps. Both are super fun, but you pick and choose how you feel that day. There's also a brand new mountain biking area that just recently opened later part of last year in Townsend, and that's called V Hollow. I haven't been yet, but as soon as the weather breaks, stops raining, dries out, want to go check it out.
How about the North Carolina side? Any place that you like to go?
Yeah, there are. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Oh my gosh. There's a place over there that I went a few years ago, spent some time riding, DuPont.
Okay.
The DuPont area. Lots of really good riding over there. I loved it. And I really can't wait to go back and do that some more. There's so much, of course, like here, there's just, you're riding up a mountain to ride down for, you spend an hour riding up, trying to pedal up a mountain to ride down.
Yeah, well, this thing you work to get up, and then you get to enjoy it coming down.
Absolutely, that's right. That's right.
So you rock climbing. What's your favorite rock climbing spot?
Oh, I do like to rock climb. It's something I used to do with my friends years and years ago, and I kind of picked it back up about 2 or 3 years ago. I don't even know why I picked it back up, but I enjoy it. It's like, to me, it's kind of like solving a puzzle or working a puzzle. Each hand hold and each foot move is like putting a piece of a puzzle together. But that's just a new challenge for me. But my favorite spot to climb is Obed. It's one of my favorite areas to go there quite often. There's a place in Knoxville, also at IAMS, that I'll go and climb. It's an established climbing destination by the Legacy Park Foundation. It's bolted, which is super cool. It's a lot crowded in the summertime, but so I pick and choose. I go there, go to the climbing gym.
Cool.
Yeah.
So what if somebody wants to? You got so many things to shout out. Why don't you shout out how people would follow you, find out more about you, things like that?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you can reach out to me on Instagram at Johnny on the Trail, Facebook, Instagram the same, Facebook, YouTube the same, Johnny on the Trail, or you can search for Johnny Osborne on Facebook. I'm on there as well. You can grab me that way too.
And you have a link tree, right?
I do. Yeah, it's on my Instagram page.
Okay, so you go to the Instagram, look for Johnny Osborne, Johnny on the Trail, and then find your link tree. Cool. Yeah. And you're doing some interesting stuff in social media. You're doing merchandise, but you're actually donating it all to park charity. Is that right?
Yeah, we sure are. it was an idea that I had thought of a while back. It took quite a bit of time to get some things together for it, but after talking to some of my group's admins about creating some sort of fundraiser, we decided to do get some different types of merchandise and have all of that profit that we raised from that go to nonprofits. And the idea really took off quickly. So we designed a logo and we came up with some clever wording, and the wording is really cool. It's together we are hiking the Smokies.
Mhm.
And that's what's on our shirt. Together we are hiking Smokies. And that was meant to represent that the community. That's meant to represent the community as a whole. That together we are supporting the park, and that together we are supporting the nonprofits.
And together you're also building a community that's enjoying it. So that's fabulous.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show.
Absolutely.
I look forward to maybe hiking with you some point.
That'd be
All right.
great.
Sounds good. This is the Gateways to the Smoky podcast, and you can find out more about this at smokiesadventure.com, and there's a link to the Gateways to the Smokies podcast on the top of the menu bar. You also go to facebook.com/gateway to the Smokies podcast, where we have these live broadcasts as well as some of the old shows and posts about things going on in the Smoky Mountains. Now, we're part of talkradio.nyc network. It's a network of live podcasts every day, 7 days a week, that has a vast variety of shows ranging from self-help to travel to small business and big business, marketing, dogs and cats, health. So I recommend you look at go to the talkradio.nyc and look up the shows. You can listen live while you're there to whatever's going on, and it's a really fulfilling effort. I actually have two podcasts on this network. I have another one about content and marketing called Wise Content Creates Wealth on Sundays, on Fridays from noon until 1. And I hope you come visit that. And of course, this podcast, Gateway of the Smokies, runs on Tuesdays from 6 to 7. I look forward to seeing you next week. And thank you very much for listening.